I tried it beginning of the year, it was great. And then all of a sudden, the designs looked incredible.
I'm about to just quit everything I do and just only start tweeting about Replit. Every time I tweet about Replit, it goes viral. Yeah, they just made this announcement, going from 10 million to 100 million ARR, which is wild. So the company's been around for 10 years. And in the last 6 months, they go from 10 million to 100 million. In 2019, I think I found out about Replit. It was just like a collaborative IDE. They weren't, they definitely weren't doing this agentic stuff. And just in the last few months, it's just gotten really good. It's wild.
So it was just a collaborative IDE before they introduced the Vibe stuff like this year or something?
Yeah, I think 5 months ago, they started releasing like some basic agentic stuff. And I tinkered with it and I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. I can see it's trying. And then a couple months later, I tried it again. And I was like, oh, this is like good. And it's just gotten like really good since then. It's not perfect. You're not going to build the cutting edge, craziest new stuff with it. But for most of what like people are doing with no code tools and websites and simple web apps, yeah, it's super powerful. I've built some really interesting things with it.
I do think it's in a league of its own though, because a lot of like Lovable, Bolt, even V0, they want you to use Supabase and they want you to use Stripe and they want you to use Clerk and all these separate tools. Whereas Replit, all of these tools are all built in. So from the initial prompt, it already knows what it's capable of and will build those things in. Whereas all the other tools, I feel like they mock all that data. I tried it at the beginning of the year and it was great. And then all of a sudden, the designs looked incredible.
The thing that I don't think most people think about when it comes to Replit, since they've been around for so long, the product is very mature. And because it was not only a collaborative IDE, but they had this like one-click deployment, the backend infrastructure. They have a lot of security things that like other folks aren't thinking about. And so the way they manage their secrets and environmental variables is very interesting. I see a lot of the other companies now trying to copy that. The integration with Neon, the backend databases, that basically it's a Postgres database and the thing speaks SQL and you can just talk natively. Like, again, I saw somebody just recently tweeting about Supabase, it needing to be a little less technical. And it's like you said, having it all integrated, having the agent being able to talk to everything natively. There's other integrations you can bring in. There's a preview live in the pane, like between the agent and the assistant. It's just better than everything else out there. Like Bolt and Lovable, like they're great products, and I've seen some interesting things built with them. But as far as like usable, fully functional, like not just a pretty front end or not just a little web skin. Like if you want real functionality, Replit's the one for sure.
This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd+AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.